Today, Hata and Company bustles with activity as one of the largest food service distributors in the state of Hawaii. A far cry from its humble beginnings in Hilo in the 1900s as a wholesaler of American goods, including commodities by Del Monte and Libby's. Hata and Company was started in Hilo in 1913 by first-generation pioneer from Hiroshima, Yoichi Hata. The store actually started in a garage, and Mrs. Hata sold candies in front of the Hata residence. Naeko Hata's maternal grandfather was a retainer of the Asano clan of Hiroshima and also took part in the overthrow of the Tokugawa government. Yoichi Hata expanded his business rapidly and accumulated enough wealth that 4 of his 10 children were educated at Japan's top universities such as Meiji and Keio. The rest of the siblings all acquired a college education as well. Frank Hata, the youngest of 10 children, grew up in Hilo, tending to the family business from a young age.
Every time the boat come in with rice, I used to play hooky and don't go to school and go at the pier and haul rice with my brother.
Inheriting his father's business acumen, Frank learned the ropes early on and remembers Kona coffee being sold for 4 cents per pound and property in Waimea going for 5 cents per square feet. Older brother Minoru moved to Honolulu in 1938 to expand Hata, and Frank was sent to help his brother during the summer.
And at that time, by McKinley High School, you could go across the street and have a plate lunch for 10 cents. They had hamburger and curry on the rice. And the only thing expensive was Coca-Cola, was 5 cents a bottle.
During World War II, Patriarch Yoichi was interned in New Mexico as an enemy alien, while Frank and brothers served in the U.S. military. Sister Yukiko ran the Hilo operation, and Minoru remained in Honolulu to oversee the business. After serving in Europe, Frank came back, attended the University of Hawaii, and returned to Hata. The company's post-war history, with Frank leading the expansion, is even more colorful, with diversification beyond food service distribution.
Automat? Yeah, that was a vending business. And cigarette, soda water, jukebox. And that was very rough business because it was so competitive. Everybody trying to upgrade their commission, so everybody had more account, but it doesn't pan out that way, yeah.
Frank has fond recollections of another business partner, Maurice Sullivan, founder of Foodland, with whom he established Pacific Warehouse, a storage facility for wholesalers.
And then the savior for Hata, the real big help was Foodland. Sullivan, Mr. Sullivan, gave me all the breaks of the Japanese merchandise and a lot of American goods. So I was very fortunate.
By 1960, Hata is the dominant food distributor in the state. Difficult times follow, however, when the government forces Hata to divest Pacific Warehouse, and the company hovers on the brink of bankruptcy during the 1971 shipping strike. The worst blow to the company would come in the 90s, when their Ilalo Street property in Kaka'ako is condemned by the state. The food distribution center on Ilalo Street was set up in the 1960s by the Burns administration, so wholesalers could operate in the city, thus lowering costs to the consumer.
In '94, the government condemned our warehouse and gave us 2 years to move out. Well, when they condemned us, they gave us 7 days to move out. We negotiated 2 years. So we had to be out of Ilalo by 1996.
Third-generation president and CEO Russell Hata has been around Hata since he was about 10 years old.
I still remember checking cans, the rusty ones, the dented, we throw it out, simple things like that. And my first real paying job was when I was a sophomore in high school. I'd go in after work and work as a janitor.
It seemed to be an ideal scenario where a son succeeds his father in a thriving business. But that was not so at the beginning.
The worst part was watching a company that became very powerful in the state and watching it slowly decline without being able to help it.
After the company was forced to vacate the property in Kaka'ako, Russell rejoined Hata and bid on a Sand Island warehouse which was in bankruptcy.
We moved in October or November of '96. We finished the freezers about June or July of 1997, and the floodgates opened. It was unbelievable, the amount of business we picked up in a short amount of time. And in December of 1997, we got awarded the military contract. And that was the first time in over 10 years the company projected a profit.
From boom to bust, although Frank Hata was ahead of his time in many areas, by the mid-1990s, he was forced to divest his non-food service distribution businesses. Major reorganization of the company was necessary.
So I ended up coming back to a situation that was very bad. The company was on the verge of bankruptcy. We couldn't make payroll 2 times. And basically, I had to do a turnaround.
The second generation of Hata members decided to sell the company, and new management was brought in for that purpose. And it was time for Russell to leave again. But the company never got sold, and profits began to fall. Frank Hata asked his son to return for the third and last time. Today, Hata has returned to its core business of food service distribution and has implemented changes to strengthen the company.
Probably the biggest change is the focus on the staff, the ohana. And when I say that, I'm talking about the clerks and the warehouse people and the drivers, and trying to get the company to take care of them as much as possible.
Hata's mission of food service beyond expectation was supplemented with Vision 2011, which calls for a change in the culture of the company and ways to compete in the marketplace. Hata's growth strategy is called Road to Haleiwa, which emphasizes efficient growth by optimizing assets.
In general, the food distribution has not changed as long as I can remember. The competitors still compete the same way. The only difference is technology. Technology has advanced so much that the operations have become very efficient, and we're probably the most technologically advanced distributor in the state now.
Revitalized Hata has developed a number of firsts in the state food distribution industry. Among them are technology-based management systems, activities-based costing systems, as well as unique organizational and sales support systems. These include the consolidation of purchasing and sales functions, the addition of product specialists, a corporate test kitchen and corporate chef to assist customers in menu planning and food cost control. Other key initiatives include sustainability programs such as electrical capacitors, a photovoltaic system, LED lighting, and energy-efficient doors to reduce energy cost, resulting in savings of 30% or $300,000 a year. Russell had this to say about the future of his company.
There's probably one change I want to do. Between my grandfather, my uncles, and my dad, they never prepared for the next generation or the succession. So that's a key issue in my mind in talking with my executive staff. how we're gonna transition into the future after I'm gone, and etc.
I still remember 1 year the property went for 5 cents a square foot, and people didn't buy. It was too expensive. Today is a choice area, Waimea, and I make good money in Kona, and I threw it in Hata and Company. And we sold it for good price, $2 million, the Kali one, and the Kaimuki one we sold it for $1 million. So that really helped our cash flow. So when we were kids, we used to go 3.5 miles to go swimming. And he had a restaurant along the way by the waterfront. So he used to call us and give us sandwich and cold drinks. And I said, how can I go against him now?
And not to be forgotten is Frank Hata's involvement as a behind-the-scenes player in Hawaii's post-war politics.
And Jack Burns did the best thing for Hawaii, I think. He really took care of the Orientals and other races. He was fantastic. He's the best governor I think we ever had.
And what does he think of son Russell running things?
My son Russell running it, and he's doing a pretty good job. He's making more money than we ever did.
The Honolulu Japanese Chamber of Commerce congratulates the Hata family, the 2011 generational honoree, and wishes them only the best in the future.